So the next question is about open contact, disinformation, and suppression.
Yes.
And basically, the person is saying many of us are fully aware of the prior contact between ET civilizations and our government that have been suppressed for decades. Any higher knowledge or technology the government acquired has been kept hidden from the public while they promote fear-based propaganda and disinformation to the citizens. Can you explain to us how this will be avoided during the period of open contact? What should, this person is putting between 2026 and 2027. What should we expect open contact to look like, and will it take place only in the United States, or will this happen globally?
Globally, of course. Why would it be limited to one country? The idea, of course, is to think about what you're saying. You have just told us that you know that certain factions are hiding the information. Well, how do you know that? Therefore, it's not really a secret, is it? So the idea, as we have often said, is this biggest secret that everyone knows. So those days are almost over. And of course, with open contact, would you not assume that if it's open contact, the public would be very aware of our existence? Otherwise, it wouldn't be open contact. Therefore, being completely aware of our existence because we openly show ourselves to you, wouldn't that be a prevention for someone being able to hide the information? So think about it logically. You already know a lot of this because information has leaked out, and therefore, when open contact occurs, it will be something that will be undeniable. No one will be able to suppress it because, shall we say it in your language, will be very much in your face. So the idea is, again, it will start slowly, bit at a time, to help you adapt, to help you get used to the idea of our presence, our energy, and to help you make adjustments and changes in your society. Those, of course, that are willing to go in that direction and shift to that reality, as always. But then you'll wind up on the version of Earth where it's a given that this is happening. There will be those, again, that will wind up on a different version where no open contact will occur. This is simply one of the side effects of the splitting prism of going into different versions of parallel reality Earths. But those that are open to it, information will be revealed in that reality. Information will be known in the same way that you know of the information you're saying is supposed to be so secret. So clearly, the fact that you're even able to ask that question or make that statement is an indication that that information is coming to light, or you wouldn't know about it at all. There would be no question or statement to make. So it's coming to the surface. You're proof of that by asking that question and making that statement. And it will become stronger in the years to come.
Okay. And regarding the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, this individual is saying, while I take part in it, is it okay for me to get politically involved in participating in public social gatherings where we as a group are asking our political leaders to stop sending weapons to the war in Ukraine, or to cancel agreements that my country has signed to support war in any way, shape, or form other than diplomatically agreeing to peace?
Yes, it's okay. Just do it in a loving and kind way. Don't do it in any way, shape, or form that would be based on fear or negativity or any kind of force. Just do it in a loving way as a request that this is what you prefer, a statement that this is what you prefer. So simply that.
Okay. And this question is, does the Interstellar Alliance operate similarly to Star Trek in the sense that there are many ET races in cosmopolitan ships exploring the universe?
Well, generally, yes. There are some differences. We're not sure what you mean by cosmopolitan ships. If you mean city ships, yes, that exists. So, yes, there are similarities. There are differences, of course, because While Star Trek overall is representative of your intuitive connection to the existence of the Interstellar Alliance and expressed through your creative art forms, there of course are some differences that exist out here from the idea that what you're presenting to yourselves is a science fiction story. So there are many similarities and there are many differences. But overall, there's a lot of similarity.
And this person is asking, how can we overcome the fear of negative alien entities? If we are open to contact, does that also put us at risk of negative encounters?
No. The first thing you have to understand is that the way to get over it is to realize, if you want to, that there are no negative extraterrestrials involved or engaged with your planet at this time. So, those of us that are engaged with your world and the evolution of humanity and what's going on your planet at this time, create a kind of bubble reality that is of a frequency where negative beings simply find that they are unable to perceive what's happening, unable to reach you. So even though there may be stories on your planet that sound very scary and fear-inducing, the literal truth is there are no negative entities engaged with humanity on your planet at this time. Only the stories that you make up because of the fears that come up within you, within humans, because of your exposure to higher frequencies that you simply may not yet be able to tolerate without going into survival panic mode. So it distorts the experiences in a way that creates a lot of scary stories, but the actuality is there are no negative extraterrestrial entities interacting with your planet at this time. So if you're willing to understand that, then you can get over the idea of being afraid that you will attract negative extraterrestrial entities through open contact. It simply will not occur.
Do you believe achieving contact is mainly vibration-based? What is the best way to align with that frequency?
Follow the formula. Yes, of course it's vibration-based. It's based on several different things. But it's also based not only on your life path, your soul's themes, but yes, physically, it's based on the idea of the upliftment of humanity vibrationally, raising your frequency to be able to meet us halfway, so to speak. So, yes.
And some of us imagine open contact involving a massive number of UFO ships appearing. However, this person had a dream that it will be different, more like floating orbs descending, carrying knowledge that could be understood telepathically while in their presence. Can you give us a hint on how that would be?
We will discuss this in the upcoming Sedona transmissions. Yes, you are right. It will not right away be hundreds and hundreds of ships because, as you say, that would freak many people out. So it will be a slow process, and what you have described to some degree is a part of it. But we will give you more specifics in the upcoming Sedona transmissions.
Are there any grays that are positively assisting us at this time? And also, if it is true that some grays are assisting us, how are they recognizable to us?
All grays are assisting you. There are no negative entities dealing with you at this time in that way.
Well, as your famous quote goes, circumstances does not create the state of being. State of being is what creates circumstances.
Yes.
I believe it to be true, but this makes me wonder how the Greys were able to create their own reality. Since the Greys gave up emotionality, how were they able to create their reality? I wonder how they were able to do this without the state of being component, let alone their technology to tunnel into other realities.
State of being does not necessarily mean primarily that it has to contain the idea of what you recognize as emotion. A hive mind mentality, a hive mind intention, hive mind focus is an extremely magnified state of being. And it is that intention and that focus of the hive mentality that they have created, even in giving up most of their emotionality, that allows them to create the reality that they are experiencing. So emotionality is not necessarily always a primary component as long as the focus and the intention supersedes it.
Speaking of the hive mentality, from a shamanic standpoint, if you were to tune into bees, what are some of the things they could help us understand about the hive mentality?
You have to look at it holistically. Again, though you experience it in linear space-time as I'm connected to this, from the hive mind, it is I am this. It's more like the idea of looking at yourself as a drop in the ocean. You understand that you can be a drop, but you understand that there really isn't a lot of differentiation between the drop and the rest of the water in the ocean. So it's something that's a more all-encompassing sense, an all-encompassing perspective. It's not that you belong to the hive, it's that you as an individual are the hive, and every individual in it sees themselves as the hive. That's why the focus and the intention and the orchestration and coordination are so automatic, and why they can act so synchronistically together, because each of them sees themselves as the hive. They have an intent, they have a focus that is shared completely by every single individual aspect of the hive, as if each individual is the hive and the only one having the intent and the focus to accomplish something.
That sounds very similar to the idea of when a human being raises their vibration in certain circumstances and actually can experience the sense of being of the collective, of that there's all these people in the collective, all these consciousnesses in the collective, but you can identify individual, you can sense they're all individual, but yet it's all one big collective consciousness experience.
Yes. Again, it is another form of absolute synchronism.
So that state of being where you're part of the collective, that would be, in a sense, very equivalent to the idea of being part of or experiencing the hive mind.
Yes. It's experiencing pure synchronicity. Everything is in lockstep. It is the intentional focus, the orchestration. It brings about the orchestration that creates everything to be exactly where it needs to be, when it needs to be there, in perfect timing. It's another way of doing it. We experience it with emotionality, but the Greys did not. But that wasn't necessary for the intention that they created. They created the reality that they needed to allow them to create the hybridization program that would allow their civilization to continue, and which you can take advantage of to allow your civilization to go in a different path than what the Greys took that destroyed their world. So that's the beneficial side effect of that harmonic, of that orchestration, is that you get to take advantage of what they're doing to preserve their own civilization, their own culture, by creating us hybrids. You get to take advantage of it so that you can decide that you have more options than they themselves saw that they had, that led them down the path of destruction, where they poisoned their version of Earth.
Great.